Formal test execution. Formal test execution levels. Test execution levels. Observe. Initial one, sanity. Smoke testing in test environment setup phase. Test environment setup phase. That is third phase of the life cycle. This is fourth phase of the life cycle. Sanity testing. Sanity testing. What is sanity testing? It is a level. Actually, it is in some in internet, in some documentation, you can find sanity sanity testing, one type of testing, smoke testing, one type of testing. See, they call the sanity as test type in general English, but actually it is not a type of testing. It is test execution level, sanity testing. What is sanity testing? What is sanity testing cycle? Verifying the build, verifying whether the build, verifying whether the build is acceptable or not, by executing basic functionality tests. Suppose in admin login with valid input, that is basic functionality test. Suppose page redirection, that is not basic functionality, that is general functionality. Sanity testing, verifying whether the build is, observe this definition, Guljar Ahmad, verifying whether the build is acceptable or not. Just a minute. Acceptable or not by executing basic functionality tests. Next level, comprehensive testing. Comprehensive testing. What is comprehensive testing, Nayak? See, you may not follow formal process. This is the formal process. We may have some exemptions due to time, due to resources, etc. What is comprehensive testing? Executing all possible test cases. After HIMO, we created, our application is having 4 modules. We created some 1,000 test cases for that application. In sanity testing, we may execute 20 or 30 or 40 test cases, basic functionality tests. Next, after accepting the build, comprehensive testing means executing all possible test cases. Suppose out of 1,000, at this point of time, we can execute 975 test cases or 985 test cases. Remaining 15, due to some reasons, may be postponed. Say 985 possible, executing all possible test cases. Or suppose 995 possible, only 5 postponed. 998 possible, only 2 postponed. Executing all possible tests. Next, defect reporting. Observe, Nayak. Sanity testing purpose is not defect reporting. Sanity testing purpose is not finding defects. Verifying build acceptance. But comprehensive testing purpose is finding defects. Defect reporting. Next, after some defect tracking for status. Next, re and regression testing. On the modified build. Suppose defect fixed, we need to check that one, modified build. For example, this is regression cycle 1. These regression cycles depends on the application complexity and strength of the development team. And one more thing, Srinivas, say nowadays most of the companies preferring automation for regression cycles, regression testing multiple times. Say most of the companies preferring manual testing for comprehensive testing. Next, automation for sanity testing as well as regression testing, but no restrictions, no limitations. You can use automation for comprehensive testing, but that is not recommendable nowadays. But in future, maybe trends changed. Okay. Re and regression testing on modified build. Next, again, defect reporting now. Again, before this one, again sanity testing. First we conducted sanity testing. After that, we conducted comprehensive testing. Next, defect reporting, defect tracking. Next, we received modified build. Sanity testing on modified build required now.
Yes, sir.
Why? See, initial build is acceptable, but check whether the modified build is acceptable or not.
Correct.
On the modified build. Next, defect. Just a minute. I will reduce this one. Defect reporting and tracking. Next is sanity. Defect reporting and tracking. Next, Srinivas. Next, again sanity na Srinivas.
Yes, sir.
Again sanity. This is regression cycle 2. Suppose for regression cycle 1, we planned 220 test cases out of 1000 cases. Next, cycle 2, suppose 98 test cases. Cycle 3, 78 test cases. Cycle 4, 88 test cases. Maybe increased sometimes in rare scenarios. Next, cycle 3, cycle 4. These regression cycles depends on, already I told, complexity of the application and strength of the development team. Next, at the end, final regression. Here we focus on high defect density areas. Earlier, we found more defects in module 1 and module 7. Next, in final regression time, we focus more on module 1 and 7, high defect density areas. Final regression. These are the execution levels. Here observe, sanity testing is one level, comprehensive testing is one level, regression testing is one level, sanity multiple times, regression multiple times, comprehensive only one time. This is the test execution levels in formal software testing process, Nayak, Rise Query Nayak, and any objections, Srinivas?
No, sir.